Welcome to Prrrr. My name is Slimo. This is the basketball show. I'm here with the guys, Teddy and George, for another interesting episode. Now, the Boston Celtics have just proven to everybody that they are the best team in basketball right now. And in the Eastern Conference, they are absolutely dominated. So it feels like they might just make another Eastern Conference Finals. Teddy, the Boston Celtics, I think we can all definitively say they are the best team in the East.
They are the best team now in the, because we've had some home runs where we've been leading, and then we are on top of the East. So obviously we are the best. Even the whole league in the East and in the whole league, we are the best.
And I think George also agree with me that the Boston Celtics are the best in the East.
They are the regular season team all the time.
All the time.
But that's the reality. Regular season is for Boston Celtics.
Playoffs.
Well, that's what we are talking about. The Boston Celtics are the top of the tree in the East. And on this episode, we'll be talking about the rest of the squad in the East. Who poses the biggest threat to the Boston Celtics? Now, we've got a host of candidates. Some candidates that we expected to be giving Boston a much more tougher time in the regular season in the East. It's not panning out, but it seems like other teams are surprising us. Teddy, among the host of the number of teams in the East that I feel like could give Boston problems, who's your number one pick to maybe make that Eastern Conference Finals and then give them a run for their money?
I'll go with Philadelphia, because last season we had
over Milwaukee.
Oh, not over Milwaukee, but with what Embiid is doing now, it looks like they look more fruitful on the offensive and the defensive, because Bucks have the defensive problem. So I'll go with Philly. You see, Embiid last season he had Harden, and then they were on this amazing run. And this season I thought because Harden had left, he was going to slow down a bit, but this season he's been fantastic, and he's been shooting well. One dribble pull-ups, 2 dribble pull-ups from 3, and he's been a willing passer. That is when we trap him.
Added to that.
When you trap him with 2 players, he's either swinging to Maxey or he's swinging to Tobias, and they've been knocked down. Maxey has been amazing, and there's this thing where people have been talking about him baiting people off.
Foul baiting.
See, if you don't have sense, if you're not intelligent, you cannot do what Embiid is doing. I think I watched the match where Şengün was defending him and he had his hand behind him. If he sweeps and he jabs and your hand is out, he will bait. Don't stretch your hand.
And I think it's because he's shooting so well. He has put fear into defenders, into the sense that because he's big, he can go to the rim, and then once he's swinging his arm, you know the shot's about to go up. So he's just baiting.
It's him being able to toggle between either he's going to shoot or he's going to drive. And when he drives, he's dunking the ball. There's no way you're stopping him.
The biggest player in basketball, winning about 300 pounds. So I think the Sixers are definitely.
Maxey has been amazing this season. The beginning of this season, he was averaging 30 plus points, 25 plus points, which was amazing. Tobias has been good, has been a third option on the team, and there's been. And I think some of the players,
the role players
they have around them now has been Kelly Oubre.
Has been, but Beverly, I think he's made that perimeter defense look like a very good one, because that's a problem with the Sixers going into the playoffs where we'll see maybe Embiid play or Maxey play, but they've always got to have a third star. So I think the big question around the Sixers is, can Tobias Harris just kind of elevate his game to the level where we expect him to have that superstar of George? Now, there's a host of teams. Who do you think poses the biggest threat to the Celtics?
For me, I have 2 teams on my radar, so I'll rank them from second to first. But you see, the Boston Celtics is their own players. Who?
So you see the Boston Celtics go fit
their own players. They sell out.
You
know they sell out. So I'll rank from second to first. So the second team is the Milwaukee Bucks. Now you see, although the addition of Damian Lillard hasn't got the spark up we all wanted, but the past 10 games has been good. They found their offensive rhythm. And that's why they've been ranked the second best in terms of offense. That's what you get when you have an offensive sniper or your backcourt in them, and the front court, you have Giannis, who is dominant in the paint. But what I feel like they'll fall short to the Boston Celtics is their defense. Now, this is the Boston Celtics side that are playing so well. They are winning games with so many styles. You could talk of how they spread the floor so well, good spacing, how they are quick on transition. And with the backside, although we say, in as much as you say their perimeter defense is in shambles, we don't look at their transitional defense. And when you are playing against a team like the Boston Celtics, and you cannot run down and settle quickly and defend them so well, you are in trouble. So when you give me a game, like a 7-game series between Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, if the Milwaukee Bucks are going to use this team and their manager against the Boston Celtics side and Joe Mazzulla, then I'll tell you it's Boston Celtics in 5. But when they add some defensive players to their
They already
team.
have Crowder, so
And he's returning from injury,
yeah.
so maybe we'll see him in a few more games.
If they add these players that set the tone on defense, like what Drew Holiday was doing, then they can go to a game 7. And that is where I'll say the Boston Celtics, their own players can be the threat. Because
they will not say if when the light shines brighter.
but then
KD
KD said that the best defense is offense. The more you score, if you score, I score. If you score, I score. I just outscore you. And the kind of players Bucks have, they can do that.
Let's not forget that the Boston Celtics are a good defensive team. They can defend
Even
well.
Bucks is a good defensive team.
No, this season their defense has fallen, and we can all attest to that. Now let's move to the first team. I feel like they can pose a big threat to the Boston Celtics. Every regular season, they don't have the regular season resume, but the Miami Heat can come again.
I was expecting you to go
Kryptonites. Then we want to Kryptonites. Yeah.
This is because I said they don't have the regular season resume, but when they enter the playoffs, they have a playoff riser in Jimmy Butler. They have a good coach, Eric Spoelstra, that is so well experienced as compared to Joe Mazzulla. They have Bam Adebayo, a well-versatile player. Now, when they get
Tyler Hero is playing like an all-star.
And they have
Even Duncan Robinson.
They have role players that play for Heat culture, their aggressiveness and the willing, like the zeal to play for the Miami Heat. This is a team that knows how to beat the Boston Celtics so well. They know how to frustrate them to play according to what they want them to do. And we've got track records to see that yes, the Miami Heat is a team that can go and beat the biggest threat to the Boston Celtics. But when you look at the Boston Celtics team on paper, the addition of Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, these are players that we can say, okay, this time around, they can be able to hold Jimmy Butler. But with Jimmy Butler, no matter how you try to stop him, when he hears the name
playoff Jimmy comes around
and he faces Boston Celtics, then he roots. So I think Miami Heat can be the biggest threat to Boston Celtics. But then again, it goes down to Boston Celtics, their own players.
If they line shine bright.
If this play,
because even Porzingis.
Exactly.
And
to just end it, if the Boston Celtics are able to add a two-way center,
we're not going to add two-way center.
If you add
we are set. With two-way
center taking Celtics for good.
We don't need anybody.
I think that's enough for the Celtics because it's just well-rounded in the sense that they've got one of the best starting fives in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I think depth-wise, it wasn't that bad for them to add somebody. But for now, I think that's okay. Now for the Miami Heat, you've been saying that they just kind of know how to beat the Boston Celtics. Within the past 5 years, in the playoffs, they've been able to beat them in 2 series. So that just tells you they are really good. Now, finally, before we leave, everybody touched on, but Indiana is kind of making a run with that big trade of Siakam. We'll see how Siakam and Haliburton kind of work things out if they're able to go find
Indiana is the only team that will beat Bucks. They know who they are for Bucks. If you ask me 7-game series in the Bucks,
but I get some team with them then go fit pose big threat. That'd be Magic, the Magic team.
I think see Orlando is another whole discussion for another day because of they've not got the playoff resume, they've not got the experience that we are talking about. And hopefully, maybe we might see that from them, but I think it will take them time a bit. But that's it for today. I think the threat to the Boston Celtics comes in many forms. George said the Boston Celtics themselves pose them a threat to themselves because we know of Tatum. Sometimes things go fit come way, don't go away.
Hands break. Moreau,
I don't think it's only Tatum. Brown their left hand to go feel
every year they win their championship on the ESPN boards. Every year
the bookies have them as the favorite. So
then we go to the playoffs and they choke. You see, this year if they don't win, it's in
maybe I can say this season if they don't win, I left the team. I left the team. I enjoy Clippers. I beg.
They all in. But
talking of Clippers, tell him what we did this.
I watched the match with you.
I watched the match. Hopefully on the next episode we'll be speaking about who the biggest threat to the Denver Nuggets is in the West. But for this one, the Celtics. Who do you think poses the biggest threat? Is it the Celtics themselves? Is it Heat culture? Is it Philly? Is it Milwaukee? Who have you got? Let me know in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you're enjoying these videos. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. The Pro Basketball Boys are out. We'll see you some other time.